Hello everyone, this is the Stormy Poet coming to you from rootofalllove.com. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Hello Facebook family, hello YouTube family, SoundCloud family, Root of All Love family, first and foremost. And I have a couple of different platforms that people follow me on, so wherever you're at right now, I appreciate you tuning in, and thank you very much for taking the time to listen to my podcast. Really trying to get it off the ground, and you're helping me out a lot by pressing like and share and all that. Sharing is caring. I wholeheartedly appreciate it. All the people who have subscribed to me thus far, salute to you. I want to just pump as much information to the masses as humanly possible. I feel we have way too much disinformation or misinformation rather going on, especially in these public schools. And I want to just constantly produce counter information to all this nonsense going on in society right now. I really feel, and I was talking about this with Allison, my co-host at Wordsmiths and Readers of Tarrant County. She did that last podcast with me about that, and we were talking about, I really feel like it's the job of the public to educate one another. So I'm going to try to spit as much game as possible and drop this knowledge on y'all. So without further ado, I'm not going to waste too much of your time tonight. What I wanted to talk about tonight, or whatever time of day it is for you, I hope that you're doing well. By the way, what's on my mind, it is the holiday season. And around this time of year, people are more prone to suicide. There's a lot of suicides that go, the numbers trend up this time of year. And so, therefore, I want to encourage everybody to just, whoever you're close to, not even whoever you're close to, your neighbor, a random stranger, if you strike up a convo with them, just ask them how they feeling. Don't ask them how they're doing. That's a real generic question that's very vague. Ask them how they've been feeling lately. I figured out that's a good way to get a more honest answer out of that. And if they say, hey, man, I've been going through it, man. I lost my job, or, was in a car wreck, or, I lost a family, or anything that's just not the desired, I'm okay. Kind of prod them about that, And the reason I say that is I don't want you to be annoying or anything, and I don't want to be annoying, but sometimes that goes a long way. And to just letting people know you actually give a crap. Human beings need to feel like other human beings give a crap about them. Whether it be significant others or family members or random strangers. We all need to care about each other. So when you say that, it's very powerful. When you ask that, that's very powerful. So I encourage you to do that. And the reason I'm getting on this real sentimental tip is because, I've mentioned in my previous podcast, my neighbor committed suicide. So I've been trying to make an attempt to do more of that. And just ask people a very simple question that could mean the world to them. And I wish I could have asked him that, and I wish I could have had one more conversation with him. Like I'm sitting here talking to all y'all. So, anywho, I'm asking y'all, how are y'all feeling? And, if you're feeling some type of way, feel free to hit me up. I will sit and chop it up with you. If you're feeling suicidal, I'll point you in the right direction. I got contacts I can point you to. Hit me up. T.S.P at thestormypoet.com. I would love to hear from you. You're not being a burden or inconvenience. Just reach out to me, man. I'm all ears. Or all eyes, rather. Or call me up too, man. I'll post my phone number in various places. Just hit me up too. Hit me up on the phone. I'm not opposed to that. But moving on, what I wanted to talk about today, or tonight rather, is these fake relationship gurus. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because today I scrolled up and down my timeline. I'm always just kind of peeping stuff going on in the world, as most people are. And I noticed this video, and I've seen a million videos like it. I've seen just tons of them. I've seen, I wrote about that in a Pale Face for a collar about this dude that was writing. He wrote these books about cheating and his confessions of it, being unfaithful. He was an author and all that, but he's a relationship. I don't know what he is. I mean, he doesn't really have a title because he doesn't really have a degree in that. But he gives relationship advice, which is fine. But here he is over here giving relationship advice to women, and claiming that he cares about black women more specifically, and yet this dude got multiple pictures of him with his shirt off and a six-pack. Now, I'm not hating on a brother that's in shape, but I'm just like, I'm a writer. I'm a writer and I'm a literary artist. And I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with your literary art and your insight and your knowledge on the topic of relationships? And I followed the dude for a good minute. I liked what he had to say about, systematic white supremacy. I liked his views on that. I liked the knowledge he had to spit on that. He used to get on stuff that was even outside of his kind of knowledge base, and I was appreciative of that. Any brother that's willing to speak out against this nonsense going on in this damn country, I'm all for it. No doubt about it. But here you are giving relationship advice. You got your shirt off like a dumbass, which that has nothing to do with the validity of your artwork, nor does it have anything to do with the excellence of your craft. And you over here selling sex to sell books. Just no, man. That's not okay. That's desperate, dude. I don't care how much money you made or how many women you pimp using this method. That's desperate. That's a sign of weakness and lack of integrity. You can go through my Facebook or any of my accounts or anything ever that I've ever shown to the internet. I don't have my shirt off and none of that. None. And in the book, it granted in the book the character's name is James Shields. It's situations loosely based on my life, but the character's name is James Shields. I just say it's me because I wrote about certain experiences that influenced what I wrote in the book. In the book, in that essay, the character was saying he dissed people with tattoos. He posted a picture of him with his shirt off, saying there's no tattoos on my temple. Okay, man, stop right there. Okay, if that's your temple and that's your holy, sacred body and place, you don't need to be showing it off. Just stop with that hypocritical crap. And that leads me into my point. Ladies especially, dudes too, but ladies especially, stop taking advice from these fake relationship gurus that you see sharing these viral videos online. Stop it. They don't have your best interest in mind. None whatsoever. You need to go into, if you're going to get any kind of relationship advice, you need to go into it thinking, man, what is this? Is this brother trying to placate me? Is this brother trying to just tell me what I want to hear? Or is he trying to tell me what I need to hear? And I can tell you 9 times out of 10, the stuff that we need to hear doesn't sit well with us. It's uncomfortable. It kind of stings a little bit. It's some stinging truth. When you're in church and you're hearing that sermon, and the pastor's talking about, or the priest is talking about all the things that, you need to be on top of that you're not doing correctly, it kind of hurts a little bit. You're like, oh man, this sucks. Okay, it needs to hurt a little bit. It doesn't need to be, everything you hear don't need to be, oh man, amen to that. I hear you. No, it doesn't need to be this feel good, mushy stuff all the time, or this feel good, warm, bubbly, tingly feeling all the time. It just kind of hurt a little bit. So, I would say to the ladies, if you're going to take advice from these gurus or quote-unquote gurus, first of all, check their resume. Like, me as a relationship guidance blogger, I'll straight up, flat out tell you, I don't have a degree in this. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a licensed counselor. I didn't go to college for this. I was going to college for sociology. I dropped out because, I wanted to start my own thing and do my own thing and make my own paper and not work a 9 to 5 the rest of my life. And I wanted to put all my energy into that, but that's about it. That's the extent of that. Let me tell you though, I've read many books on it extensively and have studied it, and because I have a lust and a passion for the language arts, I've read a lot of books. I've just drowned myself in knowledge about it. But you'll never hear me saying that I'm certified or that I'm a licensed counselor. Those professionals that actually counsel couples and all that, they're licensed in that, and they have, even psychiatrists, they're licensed in that, and they have a code of ethics that they follow. They have a code of ethics that they follow. They're bound by their code of ethics before they give you any kind of damn advice. So beware of any cat posing that. I have in my disclaimer, I'm not one of them dudes. I'm not one of them. You'll never hear me say I'm one of them. I give common sense approaches to relationships and common sense knowledge. I give some common sense I feel a lot of people aren't looking at, and I kind of say, hey, y'all not looking at this over here. What about this piece of information? That's what I do. I'm a writer. I just write. I read a lot and I write a lot. So I say to the masses, okay, here's something you may have missed. You may want to pay attention to this. Let's talk about this on a common sense level. But if there's something I don't know, or there's something I can't help with, I will reference you to the experts in the field. And I know the experts. A couple personally and a couple non-personally. So, everybody, ladies especially, beware of anybody that is just coming off like they're an expert on relationship. Okay, what are your credentials? First and foremost, what do you know and what don't you know? And don't try to come across like you the all-knowing being of, the wise one, the truth sayer about relationships. Okay, what's your credentials to prove that? You can't just do whatever you want and give whatever advice you want and say, well, this is facts and this is legit without no damn credentials. Come on, man. Seriously. Are y'all even questioning this stuff? But anyway, like I said, the truth they spit is supposed to kind of sting a little bit. It don't need to be this flowery, self-righteous nonsense these cats spitting out. Like I heard in what I saw, one of the videos I saw on my timeline, I saw a couple of them today. That's why I had to do this post, because I'm like, this must be a sign. I must have to do a episode about this. But I saw this one video that was like, if your man never answers his phone, then that means he's hiding something. And ladies, you need to check through his phone. And I'm listening to this like, first of all, you're a little punk ass anyway, preaching this false gospel, this self-righteous gospel. You a little punk ass, just Just sorry piece of crap. Trying to suck up to women so you can get more likes and shares. Given the video in his car, I'll post it up when I get a chance. I'll reshare. I didn't share it because I thought it was garbage. But you post it up in your car preaching some self-righteous nonsense, and my whole thing is just like, okay, well, let's look at things from a practical standpoint first and foremost. And let's enter misogyny into the equation as to how relationships got how they got. So my whole thing is, all right, you saying, well, if a man if his phone never rings and he never answers his phone and he's not on his phone, basically what you're saying is, if a man is not all up in his phone and obsessed with technology and texting and vanity and letting the whole world know how he feels, and if he's not connected to it at the hip, and if he's not just totally engaged in his phone and kind of disengaged from you, if he's paying you the attention that you deserve, notice how jacked up this is. This is advice that this guy gave. Notice how jacked up this is. He's basically saying, if all his attention is on you and not on his phone, he's not worried about it, then that means he's a bad dude. What the hell is wrong with you? Seriously, what the freak is wrong with you? Alright, let me put it into context. For me personally, my family members and everybody I care about knows I'm not a big phone guy, whether that be text message or calls. I'm a face-to-face kind of dude. I think if you're in that space with me face-to-face at that particular moment, which is what my mom and my family taught me, that person deserves priority, concentration of your attention. I'm not on my phone. I don't care about my damn phone. I don't care about it. That's secondary. I'll get back to them when I get back to them. They're not here right now in my physical circumference. So therefore, they don't matter as much at that particular time. Not to say overall. But at that particular time, their interactions don't matter as much as the interaction I'm having with that particular person. Whether it be friend, neighbor, significant other, etc. Also, my family knows I work. I'm writing. I'm a writer. My job is to write constantly. Every day, all day, I write my butt off. I don't have time to talk on the phone or text. I'm busy trying to make something of myself, so I can have something to pass down to my family and my lineage. So to claim that if a man doesn't check his phone all the time, it's completely 100% absurd, and it's not factually based, and it's based on nothing but your need to suck up to women and placate women and tell them what they want to hear so they'll watch your little dumbass channel. I'm not in the business of that. I'm not in the business of telling women what they want to hear or men what they want to hear. I'm in the business of telling men and women what's best for them. So that's another trait that's indicative of these fake relationship gurus. Another quality that's indicative of if they're fake or not is they've been through like 8-9 different damn divorces. Steve Harvey he's my favorite target. A lot of people are like, why don't you like Steve Harvey? Why are you always picking on that man? Because he spreads a lot of nonsense in his books, and I gotta, there's already enough misinformation out there. I gotta present counter information to kind of counter that stuff. So there's a lady I work with who's a psychology instructor herself, and is head of the psychology. I'm not gonna get into that because that's getting into specifics. But she's very prominent lady. She knows what she's talking about in regards to psychology and counseling. She actually gave counseling sessions, private counseling sessions to different parties. And she herself is dating. And And we chopped it up one day about dating, and she said, hey man, I got some advice from, I've been reading Steve Harvey's book. And I looked at her like, what the hell is wrong with you reading this dude's book on relationships? You a psychology major. How you gonna trust this dude over your own damn education? That's some, wow. You educating our new workforce that's gonna have to go out and compete and all that. Wow, and heal each other and be the people that counsel our society. You reading Steve Harvey books and getting information for that? What the heck is going on here? But anyways, I heard her out, and she said something about this dude saying that you should wait 6 months before you invite a dude. Was it 6 months? I think it might have been 4 months. It sounds kind of long. But you should wait 6 months before inviting a dude to your crib. Okay, that... Come on, like, dude, that don't mean anything. A dude could be waiting 6 months and be screwing somebody else on the side for 6 months and just waiting on you to get your act together to invite him to the crib. That don't mean anything. What factually based data is that based? What kind of analysis and factually based data can you base these claims on? Just your little opinions. And where I'm going with this is this brother's been divorced like 2 or 3 times. So how are you gonna take relationship advice from him? Like, that should let you know. And there's nothing wrong with the brother learning from his mistakes. Trust me. And most of what y'all hear from me, advice-wise, from dumb, stupid mistakes I made in my past. I've learned from my mistakes. But you kind of got to be a little bit... I've never been married before. I've never married and put a ring on a finger before for anybody. Because I understand that commitment is important and that it's not something to toy around with. You don't make a commitment like that unless you dead freaking heart attack serious. Before you put a ring on a finger. My rule is I gotta date you for 4 years before I marry you. I'm gonna need to see 4 years out you. 4 years. I don't care how old I am. I don't care if I'm an old man. If I'm 44, then damn it, we're gonna push that to 48 before I get married to you. I'm not willing to sacrifice more than 4 years. 4 years to me is when the real person starts coming out, and that's based off what I've seen from other couples. That's based off what I've seen from my own relationships. That's based off what I've read about. The first 2 years are normally really awesome. The third year is when that dude or that woman starts getting comfortable, and that's when the real them kind of comes out. And then the fourth year is just kind of if you're willing to put up with it or not. If you're willing to, if they're worth the love, if they're worth the benefits you're getting from the situation from it, if they're worth that. So if they've been married several times, you need to stop taking advice from them immediately. They're not the ones for you. And then you got to look at, what data are they basing their claims off of? You go read the blogs I have, whether it be on thestormypoet.com or rootofalllove.com, they linked up. I link studies, I link articles, I link, people who know what the hell they're talking about. I don't just blab out a bunch of stuff because I feel like it, because it sounds good to me, or because I think it's going to sound good to a woman. No, I'm thorough about mine. They need to be doing that. If you reading something from them, watching something from them, they have no sources or anything, they just spitting out their opinion, then click off that immediately. But yeah, if they've been married several times and they giving you advice, it's just like, okay, well, if you know all this stuff, why didn't you apply it to your relationship? Why don't you have somebody now? If you learned from all your mistakes, why don't you have someone right now? Don't just take advice from somebody because they are popular and they're rich and they're saying it. They need to be thorough with theirs. They need to be historians with their information. And I would say my last and final point as far as what type of quote-unquote relationship gurus you should avoid is the guru that just is the one that's basically womanizing. And let me explain to you what I mean. If you go down their profile or their body of work and it's a bunch of I don't hate to use this term, but if it's a bunch of like really attractive women, and I hate to use that, I'm at a lack for words right now. It's been a long day, but you get what I'm saying. If there's a bunch of, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna retract that statement. I'm just gonna say if there's a bunch of just women all over this dude's timeline, it's disproportionately women. Ain't no men whatsoever. There's no men whatsoever. If it's just women all up and down at that comment section, is your work is so great and you so sexy, and I wish I could be with a man like you, even though they don't have anybody. They don't have any successful relationships. The gentleman I was referring to with his shirt off is still not in a marriage. He talks about, I want a marriage and I'm waiting for my queen and all that other dumb nonsense, but he ain't in a relationship. He's not with anybody. Doesn't have a legit reason for it other than that he's waiting for the right girl. Okay, well then you got countless women on your timeline and on your pictures and all that ready to be down with you. What's wrong with them? But if you go down the timeline, or it's majority women sharing that information, sharing it all over Facebook and disseminating all that, it ain't no dudes backing it up. Like, I've listened to a lot of the Tariq Nasheed old Mac lessons, and it was a mixture, all the stuff he used to spit. There was a mixture of people calling in, whether it was men and women, whether all ethnicities calling in and commenting in the comment section and participating in the blogs. It was a mixture. It was not disproportionately anybody. That lets you know that the information was fair and equal. I salute that brother for that. And, though I don't agree with everything he was preaching back in the day, he didn't really talk about that anymore. He's more of an anti-racist strategist right now, as the chick on Fox News so eloquently put it, that he was having that interview with. But that's the thing, is if you go to these pages and you see just mostly women, and I gotta call women out because I don't see any. I gotta say this about women because I don't see any women making presentations that's kind of like caping for men. I mean, caping for men and y'all, saying that rhetoric. Y'all women need to get y'all stuff together, and these are some signs that women are cheating. You don't really see any of that. You don't really see any of that. So I gotta just speak on the women in that regard in this particular situation. If you see that, that probably means he's catering to what women want to hear, not really what's in your best interest. Anybody can do that. I can say men are all dogs and y'all need to get y'all stuff together and y'all need to stop cheating. Y'all need to do that. Anybody can do that. I can just demonize men, more specifically black men. I can just demonize black men. Black men, y'all can't appreciate a good black woman, and I can spit all this rhetoric because I know that's what women want to hear. But is that really what's in your best interest? Hell, no. It's not. It's just telling you what you want to hear. It doesn't offer any solutions. It doesn't offer any strategies to doing away with misogyny. It doesn't offer any strategies as opposed to how to deal with this really kind of crooked society, the sexist society. It offers none of that. It's just telling you what you want to hear. because it feels good. It feels empowering, but it's not empowering. It's just making you weaker. It's putting you in really jacked up situations by feeding you fraud information. As men and women, we got to know how each other thinks. I have to know how you as a woman thinks. You have to know how I as a man think. And we have to have that understanding. And we have to use our own divine uniqueness as men and women to complement one another. That's what's going to help you. Not this side needs to understand me and that's all there is to it, and vice versa. Not this false information that they keep spewing and presenting as facts. They're trying to get clicks and likes. Listen, ladies more specifically. I'm not picking on the ladies, but I've seen more men doing this than anything. Ladies, before you take advice from anybody, question, are they here for my best interest because they've studied the dynamics between men and women, because they have a full understanding of the history of misogyny, and do they have my best interest in mind, or are they just trying to get clicks and likes and shares to get money? Ask yourself that before you even click on the video to listen to it, before you even read the articles and all that. Just ask yourself that. Keep that in mind and automatically assume, even with me, I mean, the way things are going now, even with me, be suspicious of me. Fact check me. I'll get in there and explain anything I gotta explain. If you want to email me, I've given out my email. Holla at your boy. Let's chop it up. I want to have discussions, and I'll show you, whether it be studies or information. I'll back all my stuff up. I'm not just here to tell people what they want to hear. What good is that gonna do society? Yeah, I'm here to make my money. I'm not gonna lie about that. You know, you don't have to support my blogs or any of that, or sign up to my subscription. I have 2 published books out. You can buy those. You can buy them from my website. I'll ship them to you and autograph them. So I have my revenue generators. I'm not going to lie about that, but I mean, it's worth it. I crank this information out because I care about where society is going. I care about how women are mistreated. And the one thing we can't have, more so than all the men who are in different positions in different areas of life, the one thing we can't have is them overtly mistreating women. But we also, more so, I would say, we can't tolerate this misinformation because it just keeps confusing people and it keeps making the situations worse. We can't really get ahead. And most of what these quote-unquote relationship gurus do is they just get you to kind of hate men. Men are the problem. Men need to solve it. It's all their fault. Screw it. Just keep demonizing them and they'll finally get it. Human beings don't work that way. Men and women got to come together on this before we can move forward. I've said often, many times, we as if we want to reach the pinnacle of us as individual sexes, if we want to reach the pinnacle of effectiveness and reach our true potential as individual sexes, we need each other to do that. You can't do it by yourself. I can't be the pinnacle of a grown-ass man without a woman. Vice versa. There, I said it. And just follow my stuff. If you want real information, real quality information without that bias and that self-hate. A lot of these men self-hate themselves, so they pump out this anti-man rhetoric. And they think that if they tell women what they want to hear, they can get either some paper or get some ass. Yeah, I said it. I think a lot of these relationship gurus, they just trying to get laid. So they tell a bunch of women what they want to hear. That's just a form of simping. That's all that is. That's just a form of simping and being just a trick and willing to just sell your soul rather than to get out here and be a real man and try to help women find healthy and successful relationships. You're just a manipulator. And you're a piece of crap. But anyways, that's been tonight's show. I really appreciate you taking the time to peep me out. I appreciate every minute of your day. My time's valuable too, so I know how it is for you. I'm honored to be up here talking to you right now, whoever you are. All my T.S.P readers. Anyway, if you want to support me or if you want to check out any more of my material, head to rootofallove.com. I talk more about how misogyny has affected relationships, where it originated at, and then what we need to do to solve it. Also, if you check out thestormypoet.com, it's my literary art site, my independent news site, my social commentary site, and my site where I just kick knowledge and I just use the power of the language arts to empower the masses. So feel free to check me out on any of those platforms. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube. Just YouTube search The Stormy Poet. You'll find me. If you really want to help me out, if you basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do this for a living. I don't want to keep doing a 9 to 5. I would rather just spend my time informing the masses and getting this information out. So if you would like to make any contribution, just go to any one of those websites I just mentioned. There's a contribution link at the top of both of those pages, and you can read why I need your contribution. I'm inquiring the community to back me up. I can't do it without the community. I'll go ahead and say that. I'm not ashamed to admit that. No artist or anybody can do it without the community's help to build their own stuff. So any dollar amount you can give is fine. I do have a $2 and a $5 subscription. Please feel to subscribe to that. Your contribution is greatly appreciated, and it's going to help the process of me getting this information out to the masses. So I appreciate it. This is the Stormy Poet signing off. I wish all of you a positive, peaceful, productive, and prosperous day. Take care of yourself first and foremost. Peace.